Last time on Cluefull Whimsy.
Denali National Park, Miami Beach, San Simeon, Nevis, thumbtacks on every one of them and more.
A map in the professor's home pinpoints the location of every teleporter.
You would think his son would know it's there. Look, I don't know where he is or where he could be, so leave me out of this, Sanford.
Sanford?
Don't do this.
What? He didn't tell you?
Please don't.
His full name is Sanford Dwight.
On that board was a sticky note pinpointing the Grand Canyon.
The teleporter log showed something else. There's only been like 3 trips today, it looks like.
And those are?
7 hours earlier, a few kids from class all headed to Williamsburg. 5 hours earlier was a single-person trip to Tuscany by Orwell Zone, and the professor, but not to the Grand Canyon, to Yellowstone.
What could possibly make him change his mind? And now we're off to find Richard Dwight.
Is he in Yellowstone?
Could he be hiding something?
Will the teleporter spit us out in one piece?
Find out on this episode of
Cluefull Whimsy. This is how a brilliant man vanished entirely.
How an investigator and a dropout raced across the world to find him.
How an investigation, unlike any other, twisted the story further than thought possible.
And how a single push in the right or wrong direction can determine a future.
A story of tension.
Humor.
Begrudging teamwork.
Keep it positive.
Teamwork.
Forensics.
Tension.
We already said that.
Oh, humor?
Said that too.
Perhaps it would be easier just to get to the story.
Indeed it would.
Are we here? Was that it?
Yep, that's all there is to it.
Wren?
Pretty cool, right? It's a wacky science, man.
Wren,
Yeah?
you're waist deep in the floor.
Great work, detective. Wonderful observation. Want to point out any other clues with your trained eye?
I'm not a detective, I'm a private investigator.
There's a difference, I know. I'm just stuck. This happens sometimes. I warned you about it.
Do you need any help?
No. Yes.
Grab my hands. Up on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Huh. I was in deeper than I thought. Bring a phone? I want a pic of this.
A picture of what?
The indent in the floor? It compresses back into shape in a few hours' time. Plus, I don't know how long the sun is gonna stay out. Better get it while the lighting is good.
I should only take photos if they're related to the investigation.
Fine. Take a photo of that then.
Another indent.
Unless someone tried to teleport in a giant stick, I don't know why it's there.
Too smooth to be a stick. Did the professor carry anything that could have caused this?
His cane, probably.
Then this size would make sense as well. 1.5 in diameter, barely a 1/4 inch deep. Pardon?
Nothing.
So, the professor's cane was here, and we can assume Mr. Dwight was here as well.
That or someone took his cane and his keycard.
I doubt that.
Why?
There's cane marks in the dirt outside. It's one thing to steal a cane, but to walk with it? Either Mr. Dwight was here, or we have a very odd and elderly criminal on our hands.
Huh. Okay then. So, if we follow the trail, it has to lead to the perp, right?
That's not how you use that term.
Great. Let's go. A path winding into the forest in a dead middle of nowhere as it's getting dark out. Nothing can go wrong. Ah! What was that?
A rabbit, most likely.
Oh. Can you put me down? Didn't mean to jump at you. You really just have everything, don't you?
Rule 1. Always come prepared.
What about your phone flashlight?
Don't you have one?
No, Left it at the dorm since I didn't think I'd be out this long.
Rule 2. Always plan ahead.
Oh, God. You're one of the life lesson types. This investigation is going along just great.
It is. Missing persons cases typically have very little evidence to go off of. This is one of the strongest leads I've ever encountered in my career.
And how long has this career been going on?
Started as an apprentice at 17. Been working since, so 20 years more or less.
Really? How can you do one thing for that long?
I love what I do. It pays well. I help people. Those are just 3 of the main points.
Don't you ever get bored of it?
Sometimes.
Then why not stop and find something more interesting?
A case doesn't end because you will it to. It takes hard work and perseverance. The world would be a much worse off place if people stopped everything just because they're bored.
But why bother with it? What if everything is boring? Hypothetically, of course.
You were top of your class, right?
Yeah, and?
Did you join because you wanted to learn about it, or because you were already good at what the class involved? Well?
You're really asking me if I was an expert at teleportation. The thing that was just invented.
It had to be based on something, right? Math, engineering, technology. You could be good at a subject that you knew nothing of prior.
What are you, a therapist? It was new, it was interesting, and then it wasn't. Reviewed the same thing too many times, he piled on too much work, and I dropped it. That's all there is to it.
Do you hear that?
No, your tinnitus is working up. Of course I hear it.
It's coming from where the path leads.
Let's go.
Wren, where are you going?
Where the path leads.
Slow down! The path is uneven and it's nearly dark. Wren? That kid ran off and got himself hurt.
Hey, Vince!
There you are. Don't run off like that. What were you thinking?
Look at this view.
Is this what you ran off for?
Sorta. I just didn't want to walk so slow anymore.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
You're sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Bug off, will you?
The only reason you ran off is because you were moving slowly.
Look, I don't know what you're trying to pull. It doesn't look like there's anything here but the view, and apparently I'm not even allowed to enjoy that without someone nagging me. I ran away because I felt hurt, okay? Now drop it.
It's a nice view. But we should be looking for any sort of clue that leads to the professor.
The cane marks stop here.
It's also filled with foliage and grass rather than bare dirt.
Doesn't mean there's nothing here.
Correct. Would you care to search the area?
And why would I do that?
You said you're always bored. I'm giving you something to do, if you choose to.
Well, it's almost dark out and I didn't bring any sort of light.
Use this then.
Didn't you say it was only for photos related to a crime scene?
We're not taking photos right now.
Thanks.
Wren, come look at this.
What? Find something in the grass?
Yeah, indents.
Okay, so he stabbed his cane in a square shape. So what?
That could be it, but look at the spacing. A nearly perfect square with the indents uneven.
Like a lawn chair. So the professor brought something to sit on. So what?
Look to the left of the chair.
The professor would never sit on the ground. I don't think he'd be able to get back up. Plus, this indent is much too small to be him.
Grass indents only take a few hours to rise, so Mr. Dwight must have been here recently. With who? Still unclear.
The only person I've ever seen him with is Sandy, and I'm pretty sure he has no other friend.
Spot something?
Right there, behind the chair indents. Drag marks into the forest.
Good eye. Let's follow them.
Are you kidding? If these are drag marks from, like, a body or something, no way am I going in there. Not to mention, phone's almost dead. You take your flashlight and go look around for whatever caused that drag mark in the grass. I'm gonna go hang out by the teleporter.
And give up on this lead? Wren, the professor could be in some serious trouble.
If he was in trouble, why did he use the teleporter to come all the way out here to sit and watch the view? Who or what got dragged away? The man had no enemies, and as far as I know, no friends either. So then who the hell was here?
No friends, no enemies, a sudden disappearance with no forewarning. A remote location with a mysterious scene. This isn't looking good.
You can say that again. I'm worried for the guy, don't get me wrong, but... Didn't think he'd be up this late.
Who is it?
Sandy. Hey, so, still no sign of your dad, but...
I know where he is,
Where?
or at least where he could be. I got a voicemail from him. Half the words are garbled, and there was screaming in the background, but I caught the words California and danger through all the noise. I'll see if I can send you the message in some way, but it cuts off really abruptly for some reason.
Battery's dead. Sorry.
The phone call from Mr. Dwight directly, with screaming in the background. Wren, I'm starting to think that the professor might not be as innocent as we believe.
Huh?
A sudden leave of absence after a huge event distracts the world? Someone could get away with murder with this type's unveiling.
And that someone is?
I'm thinking it's Mr. Dwight.
Whoa, let's not jump right to murder. Maybe he just slid down the hill, or the person who was with him did it.
In a narrow line? Wren, marks like these come from narrow things. A person being dragged on their side could leave a mark like this.
I know I joked that it could have been made by a body, but if the professor mentioned he was in Cali, maybe we could go check there first before looking for a body in a forest, if there is one, in the middle of the night.
If we leave a potential body here overnight, who knows what might get to it first?
Or, if that scream on the call was any hint, whoever it is could still be alive. If the professor somehow snuck away while we were out here, and this other person is with him, and if he's supposedly dangerous, shouldn't we go after them while there's a chance?
You got a point. Lead the way.
Finally. I'm pretty sure we came from that way.
You're sure?
I don't know. Looks all the same to me.
Wren, are you sure?
Yes, I am.
Then let's go.
Wait.
Checking the logs?
Yeah, then we can really be certain where he went.
Well, did he sneak around us?
Looks like he did. 10 minutes ago, almost on the dot.
To California?
To California.
Off we go then.
What?
What?
Students nearly rioted to get this teleporter near a car rental spot. Every free second they have, they want to spend it out and about. Place gets good business, though. You alright?
I'm never gonna get used to this.
If criminals start using these things, you're gonna have to.
That possibility isn't something we need to focus on right now. We need to find Mr. Dwight. The sun is still up here. We're an hour behind.
Didn't find the professor, but I found this.
A lawn chair?
Yeah, a cozy one, too.
Wren, are you alright?
Ugh, you'd think a foam floor would be soft, but it stiffens on impact. Ow. The leg of it gave out.
Was it already broken?
You think I thoroughly investigated the seat before I sat down? I've been standing longer than I have for the past week. Give me a break.
You shouldn't get tired just yet. There's still a case to solve.
The only case I want is the one on a pillow.
I'm also tired, but I shouldn't rest until this man is found.
There he is!
There he goes!
There was someone in the front seat!
Don't just stand there after him!
on the next episode of Cluefull Whimsy, a potential criminal is chased along the coast.
A worker's folly could cost the case.
And I am cornered at last.
Stay tuned.